Test, test, test. Test, test, test. Welcome back, guys. Hopefully the sound is good. And sorry that I'm a little late, but I had to fix the screen, which couldn't size because the last videos were on the big screen. So hopefully everything is working well. If not, let me know. But good to see you guys again. Welcome, Mike, Arnold, Astral, Lise, Daniel. Amazing to see everyone be back again with the first stream. Sounds okay. Perfect. Kijos as well. Good to see you. Good to see you guys. I had an amazing vacation. Truly been amazing to experience a country like that. It's nothing compared to Europe or anything. So really enjoyed it. But we are back. So let's dive into it. Let's see. So we have this bigger range on BTC where we are basically still in the same range. So the market has been kind to me to just wait and be in this local range. But overall, if we look at the 12-hour, for example, we had this massive downtrend where we had this local distribution which formed our top with the 1, 2, 3. Then we broke structure back to bearish, and since then we have been in this downtrend with reaccumulation down, and then this is our second range. And overall we have super interesting levels right here. And this is the first time that we are forming some sort of a good range. This was like a local distribution range, this one as well. But right now I think this can potentially develop into a high time frame accumulation range, which means that this could be our tab 1. This in general I think could be potentially turning into tab 2. And then we have to see if this first goes lower and we then go up higher and then eventually come back down. And then this is our bottoming range before pushing back up again. But overall, my main expectation is that we will bottom out around these levels. I think maybe we go sub 50k, but I think overall, depending on how we react right here, that for the next several months, I will not be surprised to see just price accumulate around these levels. And then the best way how market makers play that often is to show very boring price action, where basically nothing is happening, no big moves, a lot of choppy price action, small movements, and that's where everyone loses their interest. But that is how they can accumulate before pushing it up for the next round. So high time frame, we are potentially creating that second tab of this potential accumulation. And more locally, we have ranges within ranges. So we have this tab 1, that tab 2. And from there we had that crazy sell-off, which took out that range low. And then this is basically the local range within the bigger range where we have been in since, when was this? 5th of June. So I left at the 11th of June, which was around here. So then we had the local range right here, and then we made a new high. And after that, we broke structure back to bearish right here, put in a lower high, and then started this local downtrend where we eventually took out the initial range low. So we can see that as potential, this tab 1 at the low, this one tab 1 at the high. And then this sweep can potentially be tab 2. So what we do here is pretty important because we have tab 1, we have tab 2, which was put in last week with an aggressive move. So if we zoom in a bit more, you can see that we basically, after breaking structure technically around here back to bearish, we can see that price has been like locally trend. Oh, let me pull it from here. Locally been trending down right here with lower lows, lower highs, but overall you can see it like this: lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and then a lower low, which was the second tap creation. So pretty clean market structure to work with, and every time price came back up, but never broke structure back to bullish, and then had a super aggressive move down. I believe this was with a news event, but I'm not too sure. But I believe we just front ran that initial range low right here, did not take it, got it bounce back up, front ran this main supply, and then sold off heavily. And that is our current second tap. And that is where we basically are now. If we look at the range, we have a local range. So this is a local range within in this range, which is again a range within that bigger range. So we have ranges within ranges within ranges, where if we now look at the different tabs, we have the high time frame tab 1 here. If we look at the distance between tab 1 and 2 here, then that's pretty big. So we can see from around here to here, that is like this distance. If we copy that and look at it from the distance between potentially tab 2 and 3, then we can see that that's not divided nicely. So I think that this local range that we are looking at right here can turn into one general tab in the long run. So locally we have tab 1, tab 2. Preferably I see price take out the low right here for potential 1, 2, 3. Then get a reversal back up, maybe to the highs right here. Then we have a setup tab 1, tab 2. And then the range will develop also nicely, because now we have a super aggressive move down, only lower high. And then later in the summer, price coming back down, mitigating this demand. And then this is potentially our high time frame accumulation range with 1, 2, and 3. I think this is the, from a trading perspective, the best playbook we can get. And to me, it makes a lot of sense if we get this, because this is solid tab 1. This in general, if we get a 1, 2, 3, so local model 1, which then is the potential tab 2 of that bigger one, then it is already showing clear signs of accumulated behavior. While if I watch X and see like just in general the volumes and everything, then it looks like everyone has lost their attention or just don't believe in crypto anymore. But that is exactly the sentiment you want to see at range lows. Right here, everyone thought we were back, we would go to all-time highs, and that's at the range high. Right now we are sweeping the range lows, and this is where sentiment is always very bad. But if we just stay objective and see it from a range, then we have tab 1, we have tab 2. This is probably all tab 2, given the big distance between it. But I think it makes sense for price to complete this local accumulation, potentially get a move back into 70k from a lower high to later come back for that third tap, and then potentially later in this year get a big reversal back to 90, 100, 100Ks. So I think that while the market has been pretty choppy and boring lately, that that can change pretty soon, especially if we start taking out this low at 58k, where we have a strong demand zone below as well. Let's say we have 1, 2, depending on what we do here. Preferably we take out that low today to still get a potential strong weekly low. If we then tap into yeah, this is already on Friday, so that can also be possible that we make it low later in the week, which would be even more healthy to see this as step 1, step 2, step 3, form that on Friday or Sunday if we get a bearish week. And then maybe we can even draw a simple trend line. Yeah, that one will be a bit extended, but could work. And then I think from here, longs start making sense to trade it up back to the range highs of this local range. So that is what I'm mainly looking at. And if we look at the local price action, we had this as our range low, range high. We swept it right here for tap 2, and then came back for, what was it? There was some extreme supply. Yeah, so we had extreme supply right here. Right there. Where price came back for. So this was technically a model 2. 1, 2. Extreme supply. The move was aggressive, so there was not really any solid structure to work with here to confirm it. But technically we confirmed it right here. Got the lower high and then the lower low. So to complete that model 2 distribution, 1, 2, 3, I expect price to take out 58k. And that is where, depending on if we see signs of absorption, so aka heavy selling into this level, but price not managing to break much lower, then I think we can look for longs from this level and just trade it back up. But for that we need to see yeah, probably a sweep of that 58k level and signs of strength, because we can't ignore that the market has been weak as fuck. So in order to get bullish, we need to see some signs. But overall, I think just from a range perspective and our trading approach, nothing tells me to not be interested in longs here, because we are simply at the range lows. We have tap 1, we have tap 2. So we should pay attention to the formation of a tap 3. And if we get confirmations, we just trade it. We do the same at range highs, same at range lows. And now sentiment is horrible, but it doesn't mean that we should not just trade range rotations. Let's have a quick look at the volume profile. Yeah, okay, so the volume profile is not looking too good yet, but it's it's starting to look pretty good. We have the value area high right here, point of control around the middle, and the value area low here. So for a developing range, that's not too bad. And it would also make sense here to see that maybe new low, then price spend more time here at the mid-range, and then we get that more healthy looking P-shape range. So those are the plans. Let's see what we locally have. So what we also could look at, which was earlier, is that we have tap 1. This is tap 2. So if we look at what is the extreme liquidity, and we know that's the first higher low after your second tap. So technically we took out extreme liquidity just now with this move. But then you need structure to confirm that as a tap. And in this move, we do not have solid structure, not at the 1 hour, not at the 30. So I don't like this is mostly sells a clear structure in this. So I'm mainly just waiting for that sweep of 58k, because also below that low, there's a lot of liquidity resting. So maybe if we come up here, just waiting and see if we show a lot of strength right here, then potentially we can look for higher low back to the highs. But overall, I'm expecting that sweep and then watch for the reaction right there. Okay, so there's lag on the stream. That's not good. Let me know if the lag is still there. I hope it isn't. No sound and no image. Okay, so I'm not sure what the lag is because I've closed most of the other things. So hopefully you guys can hear me again. Welcome Dylan, by the way. Let me know if the sound is good and if the screen works well again. No sound nor image. Sound is good, but no image. I can hear you, but the screen is laggy. Sound is fine. Okay, probably my laptop is then still on vacation, as you guys say, but yeah, I see it's lagging. Okay. Yeah, I heard that more people have the difficulty with YouTube, that it's sometimes laggy. That's why a lot of people stream through Discord. I can try. Okay, let me try Discord. So I'm gonna open Discord because I'm watching it on my phone. This laggy as fuck, so that doesn't work. So see you guys.